we're back. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Kill the Cat Radio, Sharp Teeth, episode 18. Can you believe it? 18 episodes at about 30 minutes apiece. Holy moly. How many hours is that? That's a lot to listen to me ramble on about all the stuff that we talk about. Thank you for joining us again. It is fantastic to be here. We are back in the office. As you know, I've got the bass over here. Bass. We've got Hemingway's Paris over here. Really cool book. It's not by Hemingway, but it's this photographer who's a very interesting guy. Takes very good shots. I take kind of better shots, but hey, I'm being arrogant tonight. On the 18th episode, I'm allowed to have a little pride in my work. But no, it's a really great book. You should pick it up. It's kind of going through Hemingway's, visions. The photographer wanders around where Hemingway probably wrote about or lived or whatever. I actually went to all these different places. Really fantastic. We got the weird statue right over here. And, of course, the hat. The hat on the wall. I think it's good luck. Of course, we have our fantastic little clipboard here, completely printed up. Really great stuff. What do we have here? Let's see. Yes. Okay. Welcome to this episode. I want to greet our 53 subscribers. Thank you very much for subscribing up. Please tell your friends. And if you haven't subscribed, please press the little button below. It's free. It helps me. Thank you. I'm already singing to you. This is getting weird. I also want to thank the 86% of you who have not subscribed but are still listening. So thanks. Hey, at least you're here. That's good. It's great to talk to you. I think you guys are going to really like this episode. This episode I'm titling Food is Killing You. This is kind of an interesting topic. Everybody these days has their opinions about diets and fads, and do you want to do keto, or are you a vegan? Are you over here? Are you over there? There's really no answer to this. Folks, if you live in America, all food is killing you. I know. I hate talking shit on my favorite country in the world because I'm from here. Just know this. Our food is killing everyone. It's a hell of a thing. It's a hell of a thing to know these facts and figures. I'm not going to do the mathematics. I'm not going to talk about obesity problems, although we should. I'm not going to talk about underweight people, the bulimics and the anorexics and these other people. That's a serious problem. At least it was in the 90s. Apparently, we've got new problems now. But let's stick to food. What we put in our mouths directly affect everything that is going on in our bodies, okay? Our bodies are the example of what we put in it. It is not hard mathematics. This is not geometry. This is not trigonometry. This is not calculus. This is 2 + 2 = what we put in our fucking mouth. We can't be affected by bad things unless we put them in us. And you already watched the sex episode last time, so that's a little different topic. Let's get to point one. Point one is this. What I remember from my childhood eating in my family, we had a single mother situation. It was me and my sister growing up in a small town in Rhode Island, the smallest state. I'm from a small town from the smallest state. And I came all the way here to the biggest city in the world, New York. Wow. So let's talk about childhood in America. I remember eating all manner of things. Now, I wasn't a latchkey kid. My mom did have to work. We had babysitters. We had a lot of family members. There were people that helped out my mother when she was trying to put food on the table for us kids. Now, when she could cook, she was a very great cook. She cooked very well. Thank you, Mom, very much. However, also, we had some other meals that we just had to get. And I really like some of these things. I remember bologna and cheese sandwiches on Wonder Bread with mayonnaise and mustard. Delicious. I remember good old-fashioned hot dogs, Oscar Mayer wieners, right? Those things. Remember those? I remember loving Chef Boyardee. God, these were staples of youth when you think about it when you're a kid. Were these good meals to eat? Probably not, right? Maybe there's more nostalgia to these because I've tried all three of those things in the last, I don't know, year, and they tasted like shit. Terrible. Maybe it was memory. Maybe it's like, like the fast food memories we have. Like, remember McDonald's when it used to be so good? Now you eat it, you're like, you just want to puke immediately, right? I'm trying to think of like the worst fast food places in the world. Probably Taco Bell is the worst, I think. Taco Bell, like you eat Taco Bell and just have a little bit of it and you just want to puke like right when you eat it. That's very strange. At least McDonald's takes 6 hours. Burger King, well, okay. Burger King's all right. I kind of like it if you kind of get a good cook, I guess, or whatever that means. Wendy's is probably my favorite as far as the fast food places go. And no, I don't work for Wendy's, just in case. But if Wendy's wanted to sponsor this video, I'd gladly take your money any day of the week. But no, childhood, it was very different then. And a lot of stuff that my mother probably gave me growing up was probably stuff that she ate when she was a little girl back in the old days too. And actually we made real food here in America. Remember that? Remember that? When we didn't put Monsanto chemicals in all of the shit that we eat now. And people wonder why we are screwed. What's funny too is like when you go to the store, if you look at bottled water, soda is cheaper than water. Now, doesn't that make you feel a little crazy? Like, what exactly does that mean? Now, I loved all of it when I was a kid. I loved all of it, right? Coca-Cola and Sprite and ginger ale and Mr. Pibb. And remember all these great stuff? I mean, it's almost like they put it in our minds somehow. Conspiracy much? I just remember a different time, a more innocent time. And perhaps that's what's called nostalgia. And that, my friends, is how they get you. I'm sure all of you out there have had exactly the same experience. If you grew up here in the United States of America, you probably were raised on these brands. You know them very well. They are part and parcel of growing up here in the United States. But let me tell you, folks, it's all a lie. We're being lied to. Sugar is everywhere. Salt is everywhere. It's in everything. Even oatmeal. I remember telling my mother, don't eat oatmeal because even the oats are poisoned. Isn't this messed up? And we wonder why. We wonder why there's such health problems in the United States. This should come as no surprise to any of us what is going on here. But childhood, you eat these wholesome things and they're just delicious, especially the bologna sandwich. I have to admit, I'm kind of stupid. I actually thought bologna was actually a meat, like like it came from an animal. Like, what animal did bologna come from? Now that's baloney. I really did think that. Isn't that sad? I thought baloney came from the baloney animal, maybe. I don't know. I really didn't think about what I was putting in my body at all. I just consumed. And that's what we do here in the United States. We consume. It's very important. Put it in our body. Give them money. Give them money. Drink everything they give us. Then you ask yourself, what is the natural way of eating? What can we put in our bodies that isn't horrible for us, that won't kill us? I don't know. There's so many different options, I guess, out there. Even these days, when they say something's organic, it's a lie. It just says organic. It doesn't have to be organic. I mean, shouldn't all food be organic, like come from something? We should be more scared that we actually have to say organic. What is the opposite of organic? Inorganic? So it's not even like a real thing or whatever. Like that to me is nuts. I don't even understand what that's about. Anyways, I think back to childhood, and that's point one, is that when we're kids, we kind of are already born and raised consumers. We're being slowly, well, not slowly anymore, especially if you're my age. But I mean, even the kids these days, everybody is being slowly sort of made as future customers for these brands, that if you really do some investigation, even just a minor Google search or whatever, look into what you're eating and you'll see that's not natural at all. And that to me scares the crap out of me. And you wonder why people, when you really see them as they get older, they look kind of deformed. They don't even look like real humans anymore. I don't understand this. Now, I don't blame anyone for this. I don't blame anyone except for the companies and the people who make the decisions and say, who gives a shit? Let them eat it. We'll make $1. We'll take a vitamin out of here. We'll take this out of here. Put a little microplastics in something. Kind of scary if you think about it. Who's making these decisions? And, again, if I had to go back to that, if I ruled the world episode, remember that one? I think it was like 16 or 17. I don't know. They're all blending in together. No, but if I ruled the world and found out who actually were the people who were making decisions like, let's take this vitamin out of here, let's put a little microplastic into this and then give it to kids. See, in my world, what happens in my world. Go watch that episode and you'll see I run a tight ship in my kingdom. Anyway, that's part one. Just the thinking of childhood and eating. Why is food killing us? What are we doing to ourselves? What are we putting in our bodies? It's so simple. It's so quiet if you think about it. It's a simple act. Like, we're all busy. We're all doing stuff. We all have jobs and we're trying to pay bills and we're running around and we've got children over here and we've got jobs over here and bosses and all these different things going on, and girlfriends and boyfriends and marriages and divorces and all the good stuff that happens in modern life. So let's get to part two here. Okay, so here's an interesting little fact. Now, part two is about when you travel outside of the United States. Again, I am a patriot. I love this country. I think this is the best country in the world for certain things. I also think that this country is totally fucked on so many different levels. So let me give another example. So every time I go to Paris, let's say, okay, so I go live in Paris for 3 months or whatever. I eat primarily bread, meats, and cheeses and drink wine. Every single time that I've lived in Paris, I think I've lived now in Paris and around France maybe 9-10 times, which is pretty cool. I mean, that's really good. I mean, I just keep going back and everybody's like, why do you keep going there? Well, if you don't know, I can't tell you, as they say in New Orleans. Anyways, the point is, every time I go out there and live there and eat pretty much baguettes and meats and cheeses and all that stuff, I end up losing weight, and the same response every time I come back from Paris. Everybody's like, oh, wow, you look really great. Like, what are you doing? What's the secret? And I say, nothing. I'm not doing anything. In fact, I'm eating more bread and more meats and more cheeses than ever before. So I don't get the difference. And the same answer always, the same question always happens. Oh, you're walking more. Hello, I live in New York City. We're walking everywhere, and there's still fat people here. Okay, so what's the deal? It's because certain rules in France about food are really serious. Now, my ex-wife is French, and she says that I have this idealized version of France. Yes, they have Burger King and McDonald's and all that other shit. They got that out there. But weirdly, it tastes better. I'm sorry to say, it tastes better there. Even their garbage tastes better than our garbage here. I mean, we're not even selling food at some points. I mean, go to like a 7-Eleven or whatever, and I'm fine with it. I mean, it's cool. I'm not a hater. So every time I end up in France, I eat like a nightmare, like a crazy person, just like, oh, cool, put jelly and butter and bread and salami and different meats and cheeses and whatever I want, okay? I can have it, but it's delicious because they still, as a country, have rules about how bread is made, how is the sausage made, basically, what's in the sausage, right? So people always talk about organic, farm to table. Well, guess what? France is about the size of New England, okay? If you took all of New England, made it round, okay, that's the size of the entire country of France. So their farms are all right there by the city. So if you get something on your plate, it came from the farm probably that day. Pro tip, by the way, if you're ever in Paris and if you guys ever go there on a romantic getaway, never go to a restaurant that has more than 5 things on the menu. They'll have something outside the cafe that's written on chalk, right? Some of the French chefs, thank God they're still cool. I mean, they're losing it, they're losing their power day by day, but because of, Western influences like us, United States. When you go to Paris or if you go to France, only go to the cafes that have 5 things on the menu because everything else is going to be frozen or stupid or bullshit or whatever, and it's going to be not real food. And you can just get that here for nothing. When you go to the French cafes, please order just anything that's fresh that day because guaranteed those French chefs are so prideful because, we always insult the French for being assholes. Well, guess what? Sometimes you need an asshole to fucking make things work properly. Go to these cafes, order that fresh stuff, and it is truly farm to table because everything's farm to table. I mean, same thing in any other kind of country, I'm sure. Like any country that doesn't have these psychotic fast food, plastic bag processed nonsense, Monsanto seeded from birth to grave. We are poisoned by these giant companies. And I hate to be like a conspiracy guy, but it's true. Look around you. Look inside yourself. Feel how you feel like when you consume meals. Try to recognize that feeling. I mean, I used to just eat whatever the hell I wanted to eat, and then it started to affect me. I mean, try to eat bologna sandwiches. What is really in bologna? That's the mystery of life. So that's my whole speech about part 2. It's like when you get out of the American system, when you get out of the system of processed shit and fast food and anything that comes in a box or anything that comes in a bag, don't eat it. Don't eat it for your own sake and for your children's sake. Get out of there. Run. Buy something that doesn't come in that. There's fruit, there's vegetables, there's other things that you can do and get that you could just make that day. And usually great meals, you know what? Great meals, unless it's a soup or a sauce or a stew, usually takes 10 minutes to make, right? Get a good slice of meat. Get something like that. Get nothing fried or whatever. If you don't know where it comes from and you can't make it yourself, it will affect you and you will feel it later. And it's really quite unfortunate. And not so good for the good old figure, if you know what I mean. If you want to be attractive, which I know you do, because we're all vain assholes, aren't we? All right, so moving on to part 3 of Food is Killing You, at least in America, probably everywhere else too. Number 3, my tricks of the trade. Now, people have been asking me a lot lately, like, wow, you look really thinner, And I will tell you a little personal story. About 6 months ago or 7 months ago, I was about 230 pounds at 5'11". That's not so good. Big here. Even if you go back to my first episode, you could see episode 1 when I'm wearing the good Hemingway shirt before I started, looking spiffy in these sport coats. You could even see there I look a little bloated, a little bit more, on the chunky side. It's definitely in the neck. You can see it like here, I just look a little. Anyway, just go back to episode 1. You'll see what I'm talking about, and immediately don't watch it because it's super embarrassing. Anyways, my point is that my secret to my success of where I am now is management of what I put in my body. It's very, very simple. It's not some crazy fad diet or, I'm only going to do this or I'm only going to eat that. The secret is portion control, I think. For me, portion control. So your stomach just your stomach tries to adjust to your life. Try to imagine how old your digestive system is just on an organic level, literally an organic, like your organ. Think about that. Think how old your stomach is. Like, we've been around for many, many, many millennium. So just imagine how old all of these guts are that's been coming from us mammals. It just tries to adjust to whatever we're doing, and it really is trying to help you survive, because that's what the life instinct is, eros. But try to imagine like all the stuff we put in. Of course our bodies are going to start like trying to adjust, and our stomachs are going to be bloated and strange, and you're putting in like all these cheeseburgers and hamburger and weird refried beans and just all the crap that we put in our body. And again, I love all those dishes, by the way. They're fantastic if made properly. But you could just imagine all the stuff that you're putting in your body and how like old it is. And so your body's trying to just adjust to all the different stuff. You can't expect it to just kind of, be okay after years. I don't think the Neanderthal man or woman back in the day was really concerned with all of this sugar and all of this salt. So whatever we put into our bodies, we're altering our bodies. We're becoming these different creatures. I call it the waddling effect. Okay, just take a moment, look around, and see the waddling effect. And I mean that people are moving like this now. It's a little, like, you ever watch WALL-E? Right? Remember that movie WALL-E from Disney, or what was it? Disney Pixar or something like that? WALL-E, everybody's moving like this, and they got robots to do everything for us. Look, I'm not insulting anybody. I love humanity. I want humanity to be good and great, but we have to remember what we're putting in our bodies. So I started to really become conscious about what was going on. And I tried to really, really concentrate on what I put into my mouth, what I put in here. What you put in here will determine everything. So yes, I was at 230 pounds. Think about it, 230 pounds. That's pretty big. And I carried it well. People were like, yeah, you didn't look obese. And I'm like, yeah, well, I hit it really well. I am vain just like anyone else. I want to look good. I want to feel good. That's even more important. Feel good, not just look good for other people, but feel good, feel clean and light and just balanced, I guess. God, I'm becoming a fucking hippie. What's going on here? And I thought I was punk rock. Anyways, the point is now I'm down to around 189. It's really cool to feel this difference. And I'm not even done yet on this crazy journey. So people ask me, what is the secret? I say there's no secret except just be conscious of what you put in your body. I mean, keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. I eat fruit, okay? I like to make my own smoothies. In fact, if you get a bunch of fruit together, I like blueberries, a little yogurt, a little muscle milk, a little kefir, right? You should try that. That's pretty cool. Mangoes, you could throw mangoes in there. Blueberries, really huge fan of blueberries. Just put that in a little blender there. Boom, done. You feel good. You feel nice. As far as portion control, usually I remember I used to house down just a whole large pizza. Oh, I love it. It's so good. Oh, it feels so good. I love the New York pizza, pepperoni, the grease, the cheese. Oh, it's so good. I want it now. Oh, trust me, it's an addiction. But I ignore these wishes. Just like I ignore narcotics. Inside joke there. No, but think about just like the natural stuff. Think what a person in 1895 would eat. Okay, that's my secret. Pretend that you're a pioneer on the grand mountains of the future, and you too will forge off into the new land, but the new land is your own body. This episode is really turning into some like health nut shit, right? I'm so sorry. Oh, wow. It's raining outside. It's beautiful. Anyway, but that's what I'm trying to tell you is that part 3 of why food is trying to kill us is, look, we don't have to eat this stuff. Just because they sell it doesn't mean we have to consume it. Look around. Bag, box, fried, processed, served without you knowing where it comes from. Avoid all of that and you'll be fine. 6 months from now, you too might be feeling all balanced and start a YouTube channel and start talking this craziness to everyone else that will listen. Anyways, so really though, enough jokes aside, we need to really, really figure out who the creep of the week is for this week. Is it the food industry? Is it the drug industry? Is it commercials? Is it media? Is it television and internet slowly creeping into our lives to just suffocate everything human and beautiful that once was? No, it's us and our attention span. As I said, creep of the week doesn't have to be a person, place, or thing, or it could be all three. And this week's creep of the week is our attention span. We all live lives of busyness. We are busy. Some of us have children. Some of us have high rents. Some of us live in New York City. Some of us are suffering from disease. Some of us are suffering in bad relationships. Some of us are having a really, 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 really good time. You know, money's flowing. Everything's going well. Sex is happening everywhere. Woohoo. Pretty good stuff. However, what gets lost is being present in the moment. Now, this sounds kind of like Eastern philosophy, and in a way it is. Very East, in fact. Being present, knowing what you're doing at the moment you are doing it. Focus on the 30 minutes or focus on the hour. Each moment of your life. Don't get caught up in like what's going on in the past or what's going to happen in the future. Human beings are really blessed because we have this crazy active mind. We can imagine beautiful paintings. We can create atom bombs. Not so good. We can create trouble in our lives. We can create drama for other people. We can do all kinds of things. But the one thing we have the hardest thing to do is to stay focused right here in our minds. That, my friends, is the creep of the week. Our attention gets lost in all these other things. Sometimes even when we're talking to other human beings, we're not even there. We're like, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm over here now. And then I got to do this over here. And then, oh, fuck, I got to I forgot this thing here. And no, I'm here. Yeah. And you can always tell, it's like having sex with a person whose mind's elsewhere. Now, I'm not saying that's happened to me personally or to me, but it probably has. Yeah. We're all human beings, right? I've already lived half my life, and perhaps half my life I've been kind of present. I have now made a point to defeat the creep of the week, to stay in the moment. Now try practicing with me. Watching this video, you and me, we are in the moment now. Okay? You're listening to me now. Everything is cool. We're here together now. Now, what I want you to do is stop the video and go live your fucking life. How's that for bad business practices? Don't listen to me. Go live your life. Anyways, the creep of the week is our attention span or lack of it. And this has to do with why food is killing us, because we just consume until we have all the after effects. Then we're going to look like this, and it's going to be really sad when we're older. And, I've been through a million different health problems, and it's all because I wasn't paying attention to what I put in my body. And we'll do an episode about what we put in our minds later, okay? Because that's the secondary part. What we put here in our eyes, here in our ears, right? Like kind of the psychological side of things. We'll get to that later. But the creep of the week for this week is our attention span of what food we put in our bodies and what we are doing to ourselves eventually. Yes, we could take a pill. Oh, we got heartburn. Oh, okay. We'll just take a pill for it. Oh, I'm feeling kind of bloated or whatever. Take a pill for it. Oh, I'm feeling sick. I got a fever. Take a pill for it. It's like there's a reason why you're having all of these problems. It's what you're putting into your body. Okay. Stay focused, kids. This is what I'm trying to tell you here. And I'm doing it myself. Hey, if I fall off the game, you put it down in the comment section and say, hey, Matty D, yo, Diabate, what the hell? Get it together. If you see me like on the program, like, oh, what's going on? How you guys doing? I hope everybody's okay. Hey, call me on my bullshit. All right. But what I'm trying to tell you, I'm not trying to preach to you. I'm just trying to say the creep of the week is that we're not paying attention to what we put in our bodies. And a lot of times it's not our fault. We're just busy. We're just human beings. We got so much stimulus coming at us. We're just trying to live and have a nice life. So what I say is creep of the week, attention span, stay focused. Moving on. Well, no one commented this week, so fuck the talk back section. Nothing to talk back to here. Hey, that's good for me. I mean, there's no problems. It means no one's got beef with me this week. All right. No, that's cool. I'm good. Hey, I dig it, dig it. No compliments and no criticisms. Just the way I like it. Peace and quiet. That's our show for this week. Kill the Cat Radio, Sharp Teeth, episode 18. Get ready, because we're moving into the next 3, and I've already got them in the bank and recorded. So you guys are going to really love these episodes. Not going to tell you what it is, but there's some of my favorite topics. And when we get to number 20, I got some special little news for everybody to share. So I can't wait. Thank you very much for being the 53 subscribers to my channel. Thank you very much for following us at Kill the Cat Radio on all the social media platforms. Thank you for participating. And I wish you all a very attentive week ahead of you. God bless.